This video is for the tiny group working on proportional relationships in tables. We have our first problem that's on your notes here. Alice went to the market and bought comics. The table shows the price for different numbers of comics. Do the numbers in the table represent a proportional relationship? In order to determine the answer to our question, do they represent a proportional relationship, we're going to look at each relationship individually. So we're going to start with 2 comics cost $6. I'm going to set up a ratio, and I'm going to do dollars over comics. And I know that $6 buys me 2 comics, and I can simplify this. Divide by 2, divide by 2, and that gives me $3 buys 1 comic. How we determine if we have a proportional relationship is to simplify each step in our table and determine if they all come to the conclusion that 1 comic costs $3, like we did in the first one. So let's look at the second relationship. 4 comics cost $12. I'm going to use the same key, so I'm going to put $12 over 4 comics. Here I can simplify by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So this one checks out. It has the same ratio at the end, that 1 comic costs $3. Just because that one works does not mean we want to stop. We do want to keep going. Here's our next one. $16 buys 6 comics. Let's go ahead and simplify there. I can divide by 2. And I have 8 divided by 2 over 3. So this is saying that 3 comics cost $8. This third ratio is not equal to 1 comic costs $3. So this third row in our table does not represent a proportional relationship because it does not have the same ratio that all of our other rows have. We can check the last one just to be thorough. Even though we know this is not a proportional relationship, we can double check. $24 and 8, we can divide by 8, and we get 3 over 1. So this one checks out. But because one of our rows does not work, this would not be a proportional relationship. This also shows how important it is to check every single row because some work and some will not. Go ahead and do the next 3 problems on your worksheet, 5 through 7. Then come back and watch part 2 of the video to learn how to do the back of your worksheet. For part 2 of our worksheet, we are going to fill in a table based on a proportional relationship given. So our whole table will end up being proportional. When we look at our table, we want to find the one area that they give us both sides of our table, so we know that 6 omelets will need 12 eggs. With that information, we can determine all of the blanks in our table. We can do that by setting up proportions. So I'm going to first determine the blank with 5 omelets, how many eggs. So we can set up a proportion, omelets over eggs. And I know that 6 omelets uses 12 eggs. And I know that I'm going to make 5 omelets, but I'm not sure how many eggs I'm going to need. We can cross multiply. 6 times x, 6x. 5 times 12 is 60. Divide by 6. And this would be 10 eggs. So I can fill in 10 there. And we simply do the same thing for our other blanks. So here we have 14 eggs. How many omelets can I make? Use the same proportion. 6 omelets is 12 eggs. How many omelets can 14 eggs make? And again, cross multiply. 12x equals 60, 84. And then we will divide by 12, and x equals 7. So 7 omelets will create 14 eggs, and we probably notice a pattern. And you can always look for patterns. However many omelets you have, you need twice the amount of eggs. So if you have 5 omelets, you need 10 eggs. We're multiplying by 2. And since we know that works for all of our points in the table, let's use that to find our last missing number. 8 omelets, each omelet needs 2 eggs, so multiply by 2, and we are going to need 16 eggs. That is the last part of our video. Go ahead and work on 3 of the 4 tables below our example. Let me know if you have questions.